Do a mic check, check.
What? Just hit your sticks or something so that you're... Yeah.
Okay, I think we're good to go.
Sounds good.
Alright, guys, hello and welcome back to our DNG Dream Team DCUO live stream. And this time we're talking about celestial powers because I get asked about celestial a lot and what I like to use, etc., etc. And I don't know what this hideous little creature next to me is, but I think he has some input into the PvP side of things
Yes.
on celestial. So, to, I guess, give you a little background, I've pretty much always played healer in DCUO. And when I first started out, I played a sorcery, kind of exhausted that from my taste. You know, I played it so long. Dabbled a little bit with nature. Don't like nature because the insect is ugly. And life is too short to be ugly. So... I mean, you know, you can get some good heals and whatnot off of it, but I think they need to visually revamp nature. I do enjoy nature DPS, though. And then I have also played quite a bit. I switched to electricity when it launched way back in the Dark Ages. And electricity was really good up until a point for me. And when I started getting into like the really high level content, I found myself running out of power, not being able to heal like I wanted to heal. And when Celestial came out, I kind of, for me, found the best of both worlds. I can throw out, in my opinion, really powerful healing combined with damage. I definitely think that I'm able to do more damage with, as a healer. Let me preface that. I'm not talking about the DPS side of the power. Just as a healer, I think I'm able to do more damage with Celestial in healer role. So, let me stop really quickly to say hello to Kufra. Welcome back. And yes, Rai, because we were having the technical difficulties in 7 Days to Die, we are postponing that until Andrew's stream gets worked out by the technician on Saturday. So we are here in DC, because that way, if Ninja Andrew gets DC'd, I can get him back in quickly, no problem. All right. So, I know. Poor little spooky Andrew. All right, so let's take a look at the healer side of things here. And, you know, another thing that's going to be critical, and this really goes for any power that you're using, is how many skill points you have. You know, how high is your restoration or, you know, your vitalization or whatever, depending on your role. So, particularly with the changes that are coming to DC, work on your skill points. It's just a good thing. I need to be working on mine, as a matter of fact, as I sit here looking at it. I don't know why you're still crying, because you need to work on your skill points.
Yep, pretty much.
All right, on the blessed side, the powers that I purchase, I go straight down the middle with Smite, Admonish, Benediction, Divine Light, Renew, and Blessing. Cursed, I'm purchasing Haunt, Blight, Curse, Wither, and Consume Soul. And then for my supercharge, I use Life Drain, which I'll talk about all of that in more detail in just a second. One thing, if you are new to Celestial, your powers have, they call them Celestial combos. And so to use that, let me show you an example. To get the full move, you're buying what I refer to as the mirror power. You buy it on the blessed side, and then you're buying kind of the opposite power on the cursed side. And that allows you to have the celestial combo. So, in my loadout, in healer role, the move I just showed you was Admonish. and that's going to knock enemies down. And in healer roll, it's going to heal you and 3 of your nearby group members. And to get the full, I guess the full Monty out of that, you're going to be using, is it Haunt on the others? No, that's not Haunt. It is, let me look back. Or is it Haunt? Admonish. No, I see. I'm completely confused. Blight. I don't know where my head was. So you're using Blight as your combo, which gives you in... Okay. Celestial's kind of confusing.
Do you want to demonstrate it for them?
I am, but let me talk about really quickly. When you're using a celestial power, okay, I'll call them celestial and cursed. The cursed are what's coming out of the cursed tree. The blessed, all right, is what I'm referring to as celestial. So in healer roll, it's called a cleansed combo. And you can see when I'm looking at the cursed tree and I scroll down to blight and I scroll down to cleansed, it's creating a divine energy explosion at your feet, dealing damage over time and knocking down nearby enemies, increasing your critical healing chance by 5% for a short time, and heals you and up to 7 group members over time. So when you pull off the combo, here's Admonish. So if I just shoot that out and I don't do the combo, that is healing me and 3 nearby members. But if I pull off the full combo, which is that, then that's increasing my chance at critical heals and also healing all 7 group members. So it's always beneficial to get the full combo going. So if that makes sense, yes. And hello, Trey Rose. Kufra, this is a tutorial on Celestial because I get asked a lot about it. And yes, Trey, I am showing you guys my loadout. Because
you guys asked for it.
Because a lot of people have asked for it. Yes. Alright. Then next I use Renew, and there's also a celestial combo that comes off of this. And let's see. That's your full combo there, and what you're doing for that one, like I said on the blessed side, Alright, so you've got Admonished, you're tapping melee, and then you tap range. And that's also, I didn't point out on Admonish. You're tapping melee and holding range. So if you're new to the power, go to like one of the war room to the, what are the dummies called? The attack dummies. God, my brain.
Yeah.
Go to the attack dummy and learn how to use your combos.
That's true. Just practice them until you can hit them all.
Right. Practice them until you've memorized them. So what you're getting with Admonish, excuse me, not with Admonish, but with Renew, you're instantly restoring health to you and the most injured group member. And then with your Celestial combo, let me... So you can see here in your tree, Admonished, excuse me, Renew. I keep calling it Admonish. Renew. On the cursed side, you've got Curse. Is that right?
Sounds about right.
Yes. So when you do that, right, when you pull that combo off, you've got in your cleansed combo, you cause your target to damage itself when attacking others, and when the enemy is knocked out, you and up to 3 group members are healed over time. So when you throw that at an enemy, they'll get kind of, it's like kind of these golden rope looking animation almost kind of coming out of their chest, so you'll know that that's active on them at that time. Oh, are you wanting to duel me?
You can show them how it looks.
Sure. So I will show you really quickly on Andrew.
I'll just move back so that the
Okay.
effects are more clear. Oh
Okay.
no!
Yeah. So you can see the effect, the really bright. How would you? I don't even know how to describe that. It's almost like an atomic looking type. And that's
It
admonish.
looks like peachy colored to me. I like it.
It matches your outfit. So that's, you can see that on him. So that's something, if you don't
So
have
what does
time.
that field do to me while it's on me?
While that's on you, it's supposed to be damaging you and when you attack somebody else. So in other words, if you throw it on a boss and the boss is throwing out attacks, it's causing him to damage it. It's kind of like if you have an older sibling and they would make you punch yourself. It's
I
just that in
see.
celestial form.
How
And
mean.
then when, if it's still in effect when the enemy gets knocked out, then you and 3 group members are healed over time. So that can come in handy. And then next in my loadout is Consume Soul. There is no celestial combo that I use off of Consume Soul. That deals damage over time. It stuns them, and it also, if your dominance is high enough, pulls the person or the enemy towards you. And it restores health over time. So I can use, you can see the Andrew's stunned, and and it also will throw healing over time to the group. And then next in the loadout is going to be Divine Light, which creates glyphs of virtuous light that deal damage to enemies or heal allies depending on your role. So in my role, it's healer role, and it just is a nice area heal. I throw that a lot. And I do not use a celestial combo off of that. And then next is going to be, whoops, I'm pretty sure my shield, which is Blessing. That envelops you and 3 of the most injured group members in a protective shield. So you're only getting 4 bubbles, which is great if you're in an alert, if you're in a raid. I just throw it up pretty much every time it comes up if we're fighting. I do not use a celestial.
It goes to the 3 people that need it though, so
You
it's
and the 3 people.
Right.
So, and that is one. I'll talk about the white mods in a second because I have the hand mods that allow that shield to heal me when it pops up. So that throws a little extra healing my way, which is always nice. I do not use a celestial combo off of that. Finally, in my loadout is Life Drain. That's what I like to use as a supercharge. A lot of people use different things. For me, it works the best because I can be on the move, particularly in higher raids when you're kind of scattered and moving around a lot. Works best for me. It will stun some enemies. It kind of pins them to the ground. It does a hit of damage over time on them, and all 7 of your group are healed. Some people like to use the under the blessed tree, they like to use the divine glyph, or consecrated ground rather, sorry, which is like a huge protective shield. I've used that in the past. I really didn't like it because what tended to happen is that I would throw it up and then people would move out of it because they're moving around in battle, and really I didn't find it very effective. The other one under blessing is sacrifice. Personally, I don't like that because it puts me at risk of dying, and a lot of times in raids you're the only healer, and so I don't want to bring any unnecessary heat my way if I'm trying to stay alive and heal the whole group, because then if I get knocked down, odds are we're all going to die. So even though it throws shields, it does give you healing over time, it does give you power over time, but it still draws aggro your way, so I'm not a fan. cursed side, the other supercharge is the cursed idol. I actually use that on my DPS. I like that power. But once again, as a healer, I found that if it's kind of like in sorcery when you have the what are they called? The little, it's kind of like the totems that you put up, the healing totems.
That's right.
You have to be in that area. And so I just found that Life Drain works best for me. So when you put it all together, there's kind of the whole thing. I know, right? And granted, my supercharge is not fully... Let me see if I can get my supercharge up. I'll let you heal. There you go. I'm probably going to kill you before you do, though.
We could go to the attack dummies in the dojo.
That's true. Let's just go down there.
Yeah, sure.
And then the... Oops.
You win.
Oh, no.
I know, right? The other thing about Celestial is... Now, I'm a huge power vacuum, so, like, I throw my powers, you know. That's what they're there for. And if everybody's alive at the end of the day, then, you know, all is well. But I think I do a pretty decent job of powering myself if I'm in a situation where power's not that great or I don't have a troller with me. So let's see if I can get this up to show the... supercharge. And you can see there when you throw Divine Light, it does a hit of damage on them as well.
It puts that cool purple effect on them, whatever you're doing too.
Well, that was the Consume Soul.
Okay, nice.
And then that's Divine Light, and you can see there's some damage that ticks off of them on that. Okay, so then Life Drain, which is the supercharge. So you can see... That's right. You can see the damage ticking off of them there. And then you would also be getting ticks of healing if you had a full group. So I'm trying to think if there's anything... Renew is probably what I use in combination with Divine Light. In really sticky situations, I'm throwing those a lot. Admonish, I am throwing that to increase my critical healing chance, even though it only increases it by 5%. You know. The tactical mods that I use in my gear... In my hands, I use the Restorative Adapter, which gives you yet another chance to heal you and 3 other group members every 60 seconds. Focused Restoration in the neck, which increases your restoration by 8% until you're hit by an attack. It's reapplied every 10 seconds. Back mod, I use Violent Breakout. You could use Breakout Regeneration, just depends kind of, you know, what you're looking for there. I always like to knock things back and away from me. Go away. In the chest, I use Enhanced Recovery, which gives me power that's dropped. I know that some people use Quick Healing in the chest. That may be something that I look at again in the future. There's no white mod for the legs or shoulders. In the hands, I use the Regenerative Shielding because when I throw Blessing, which is my shield, it heals me. Nothing for the waist. And in the feet, I use Explosive Block because, once again, I like for things to get away from me. So, then your equipment mods, you know, you're going to want to use restoration-based mods, particularly with the changes that are coming. If that's going to make that important again, I will definitely have modded gear. So I think I covered everything on the healer side of things.
You're
So
gonna tell them your DPS loadout?
we can talk about DPS. I know less about DPS with Celestial than I do with the healing side of things, but we can try.
Yeah. Well, why
To
don't you tell them your DPS loadout? Because I know you do more DPS in PvE than I do with mine.
yes, yes. All right, so let me switch over here. Oh, it has me in combat. That's the problem. There we go. Alright. So, Celestial DPS, it's kind of same concept as far as your Celestial combos. Whatever you're using, you're going to want to use the opposite.
In
You're
order
going
to unlock the combo.
Yes. So let me look at the powers here. Alright, on the blessed side of things, it is straight down the middle. Once again, smite, admonish, benediction, divine light, retribution, wrath of the presence, and anoint. The cursed side, you have haunt, blight, malediction, plague, wither, and then the supercharge I use is the cursed idol. Then your iconics, weapons expert, tactical genius. And then for my loadout in damage, I start out with anoint, and that increases your precision and restoration for you and up to 3 group members and increases all damage by 50%. Your benediction gives you and 3 group members weapons attacks. It kind of like imbues them with a sacred power, gives you a chance to cause more damage. Your celestial combo on that is tapping range and then holding it. And benediction and malediction go together. And you're condemning your target with a beam of divine energy. You deal damage over time, stun them, and you and up to 7 members receive healing over time equal to a portion of the damage dealt. So that will give you damage and healing in DPS roll. Then you have Plague, which you're infecting your target. It deals damage over time. When they're knocked out, if there are enemies around them, it spreads to them. Your Celestial combo, you're going to tap melee, tap range, hold melee. And Plague goes into Divine, it's the opposite of Divine Light. And so then you get glyphs of Corrupted Light. They're dealing damage to enemies. Enemies that get in that light will spread. You're just basically spreading the plague.
Nice to see.
And it increases all damage by 50%. And an interesting thing about that is it restores power and causes increased damage when performed immediately after a multi-input celestial combo. And so your plague is going to look like that. And you can see it kind of puts this effect over here on the sparring target. And if there were, actually let me go over here to the group so you can see. Now the only thing with that is you are vulnerable to interrupt, so sometimes it can be hard to get the full combo off. But you can see there it's doing the ticks of damage on all of the little dudes. And then next in the loadout we had Plague. Next is going to be Smite. You're dealing damage, knocking them down. Your celestial combo off of that is Haunt, and you get to that by tapping melee. And you're dealing damage over time, stunning. And let's take a look. At what that looks like. Okay. Then after that, you are going to have Retribution and Retribution, you're kind of shooting out a beam, which is going to damage and stun. Sometimes it's like, depending on the level of the enemy, you can get like a 1-hit stun off on them, which is not bad. It will purify your target, which causes purified enemies' attacks heal a small amount. So they're actually, helping you out by attacking. Your celestial combo off of that goes into Wither, and that also deals damage over time and a stun. And then the supercharge I use is the Cursed Idol, which is the totem. It damages nearby enemies and heals you and your allies. If an enemy is knocked out while they're still under the totem's influence, they will explode and deal damage to other nearby enemies. So,
Nice.
yes, that is definitely if you can pull everything off, you can do a good amount of damage. The tactical mods, I don't even, I'm not even sure if I have tactical mods in my DPS gear, but let's take a look. Okay, I have Blast Adapter in my weapon, which is going to give you a chance to blast your target and 5 other nearby enemies for more damage, which is always good. In the neck, I don't have, because I just put on a new neck, but in the neck socket I would use Escalating Might. In the back, I don't have a mod in yet, but I would use the Breakout Regeneration. Excuse me, feet, I always, on DPS side, boy, I do need to go put my white mods in. I would use Deadly Block here to do more damage instead of the explosive block. In the chest, let's see if I have it in. Yes, core strength, good. And then in the hands on the DPS side, I would use max damage, which I do not have on here. So apparently I need to kind of outfit my DPS loadout with the white mods. The equipped mods, in the red I would use precision, yellow I would put precision and power, and blue socket I would do precision and health to improve your survival. But you may find that you like a different combination of mods. So I will just do a quick rotation through here. And that's pretty much
Freaking epic, Misty.
the DPS loadout. And I do use Weapons Mastery. And you can see here I'm using two-handed because I like two-handed. You may have something that works better for you. Two-handed works well for me. I was just seeing if I could get this up high enough to throw the totem out really quickly. And then Ninja Andrew will talk about Celestial on the PvP side of things. I like the combos. I think Celestial's a fun power.
Yes, it definitely feels fun.
Okay, and here is the supercharge. So you guys can see it damaging them. Alright, over to you, Spooky Andrew.
Alright guys, so it's a little bit more complicated for me to talk about a loadout without actually being able to show you, so I'm going to just go through my trees, tell you what I've bought in each side, and then tell you how I've loaded that out, and then I'll show you what that looks like. So, in the Blessed tree, let me go back a second here. I'm going to explain to you guys how to set up a Blessed DPS PvP as well as a Cursed DPS PvP. There's a difference between the two, and it should be very apparent once you've seen how both of these look. But essentially, I think the Blessed was designed to maybe be the hero side, the Cursed was maybe designed to be the villain side, and you'll be able to see why I've set my characters up hopefully that way. So going into the power sets here under Blessed, I'm just going to run down everything that I've bought. So I got the one at the top, Smite, that's purchased. I've got the next three down, Renew, Admonish, and Retribution. I have the two below that, so I have the Blessing and the Curse down on either side. And then in the middle, I have Benediction, and then I also have Consecrated Ground as my supercharge. So that's everything I have in the Blessed tree. In the Cursed tree, I have the one at the top, Haunt. Then I have the two on either side, but not the one in the middle. I have Curse and Wither, and then the two below each of those, so Deathmark and Consume Soul. That way I'll have the combos for the ones that I'm using from the Blessed side. So the way that I have this loaded out in my loadout for damage, on square I have Wrath of the Presence, on triangle I have Smite, on circle I have Retribution, on X I have Blessing, and then on the R2 square, sorry, that was all on L2. On R2 square, I have Benediction, and on R2 triangle, I have Consecrated Ground. That's the supercharge. And essentially, the way that this plays is that because you have the shields blessing on X, that's going to be your most common move to do, actually. So you're always going to be sort of popping a shield on yourself with this. And because you have the combo off of it from the other tree with Deathmark, you can do the shield, and then you can Deathmark one target. For PvP, that's usually going to be the target that you're fighting against. Once you've done that, then you want to throw Benediction to increase your weapon damage, so then you can start comboing against him. Right? Once you've started your combo against him, you can then decide from the 3 moves that you have available what's the best tactical decision. So at your fingertips, you have 2 ranged moves. You have Retribution, which looks like this, and that affects a whole bunch of people and puts damage over time on them. The other move that you have is Smite, which is going to allow you to do, another hit of damage with even more damage over time on them. So you've got 2 damage over time moves. You can choose which one fits best in your combo. Maybe you like throwing this, and then throwing the Retribution, and then throwing Smite. That's what I usually do. And then the last move that you have here, that's the big one, is Wrath of the Presence, which is your huge AoE combo with the pull move. I can't remember what is that.
Consume Soul?
Check real. Consume Soul, yeah, that's right. So you have Wrath of the Presence, and then the combo to Consume Soul, which is going to add another DOT. So you're doing a huge bunch of DOTs on everything, and basically you just go back and forth between throwing the shield on yourself, marking a target, making yourself powerful, and then just throwing whatever combo. And as you can see, every single move that I'm using are all the same colors. They're all the blessed, from the blessed side. Right? Everything's that color. Even my supercharge. And my supercharge is Consecrated Ground. It's not the best supercharge. It's not going to do a ton for you. But if you can get it charged up in PvP, this can allow you to wipe an entire enemy team because they can't injure you while you're in that. So, save that up and use it at the right moment, and it can mean the difference between your team wiping them, getting them off a point maybe, something like that. So just showing you guys what all this looks like together, I don't even have to fight the guys next to me and they're still taking damage, and that's kind of the whole point here. So hopefully that will help you guys maybe to be able to come up with your own PvP loadouts, but that's what I like to use. And next, I'm just going to switch over to my villain character. So do you want to meet in
Sure.
the Hall of Doom meta wing at the basement?
Oh my god, that sounds creepy.
I know, right?
Sure. I'll be there with bells on.
Ooh.
Not really.
Oh. Where are the bells going to be, Misty?
I'll give you 2 guesses.
Oh, snap. I don't think I'm going to like either of the answers.
I don't know, you might.
Oh, no. Now I'm really scared.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I will warp to the Hall of Donuts.
Donuts?
Mm-hmm. King, you have no idea what we're talking about. The day I'll understand this is when... is where God will come down from the heavens and fart on my soup.
Don't careful what you wish for. That's all I'm saying.
That's words to live by.
You know,
I'll send you a group invite, Andrew.
God's up there like that'll show them.
It's a challenge.
Mark that down on my notebook. I'll have to. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I'm here, coming down into the
Meta. Meta wing. Which part of the meta wing am I going to?
I am just come down to the bottom level. Where are you? Okay,
I'm here. Where art thou? There's people here at the sparring targets.
Oh, okay. I'm not at the sparring targets. I was just okay. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. There. Oh, do you want to go to the magic wing? I don't know. I don't know if I have a base that has. I don't even know where that base would be, even if I did have it. I could do it here.
Okay.
Like I could just stand over to this side and do it.
And I believe that Rye is here as Joker or Jokes X. So wherever you are, Rye, hello.
So just gonna go once again here to my power trees and tell you what I have purchased in each side. And this is for a cursed DPS, which is completely different than a blessed DPS, just so you guys know. So the powers that we're gonna buy on the cursed side, Haunt, the one at the top, we need that. We need the next 3 down, Curse, Blight, and Wither. We need the 2 below the outside ones. We need Deathmark and Consume Soul again. And then underneath Consume Soul, we need Dark Pact. That's another important one for this loadout. And then for Supercharge, we have Life Drain here. And then going over to the Blessed tree, we have these purchased so that we can do combos. We have Smite. At the top, we have the next 3 down, Renew, Admonish, and Retribution. And then below the 2 on the outside, we have Blessing, and we have Wrath of the Presence again. And the loadout that I have these set up for Cursed DPS PvP is Blight, Haunt, Deathmark, Dark Pact, Consume Soul, and Life Drain. And I'll show you what that looks like.
So it's going to be totally confusing without a visual.
Yeah, essentially, well, if they just put the moves in, that'll make more sense to them. But essentially, the first move that I'm going to use here is the Death Mark. So this is why I love this look for PvP. I think it's the most load in the entire game. Go ahead.
Your audio's cutting out.
Dang it. Should I just wait?
I think it's okay now.
Okay, so starting out here, once again, sorry if that cut out. This is my favorite PvP loadout, and I think it's hilarious, and I love it, so I think it's one of the best in the game. But starting out, we have Deathmark, and Deathmark goes right into Blessing in order to get a shield. So we're going to Deathmark a target, and then we're going to put a shield on ourselves. And that shield is going to go to ourselves and one other member from the party. The reason for that is because the shield is a little bit different. When the shield ends, it does a hit of damage. If the shield is destroyed, it does a hit of damage, and it's a huge AoE hit. So when you put up the shield, you're not necessarily expecting to get the full effect of having a shield on you. What you're really doing is putting on a shield that the enemy thinks is a shield. They're going to try to hit you, and they're probably going to get injured when it explodes in their face. So it's kind of like a trick shield, you know, in that sense. So you death mark the target, you pop the shield on them, and then you use, I can't remember what the move is, but you laugh at them from inside your shield. I'll tell you what that move is here.
Is it taunt? Or?
That is Dark Pact. So once you have the shield on, let's do that one more time. You put the shield up, and then you laugh at them from inside your shield. Then you're going to use Consume Soul to Wrath of the Presence to do a large AoE hit. Okay? And then the 2 moves that you have aside from that are going to be Haunt, which is essentially another ranged attack with a damage over time hit on it. And then you also have, this is a small, massive hit damage, short-range cone attack off of, I believe it's Admonish, but let me, or no, wait, it's probably not.
You were going Haunt into Admonish, correct?
Into
You were doing
Blight. Into Blight, which goes into Admonish.
No, I mean the Celestial combo. I thought, isn't that...
Haunt into Smite.
Right.
And then Blight into Admonish.
Right.
And those are all of your damage hits. And I'm just gonna charge up here for a second so I can charge up my supercharge. But it's the same one that Misty uses on her healer. The reason for this is that when you put all of these powers together, essentially what you're doing is you're taunting the enemy into injuring you, which is going to actually end up injuring them, and then basically you eat them alive, or damage them for as much damage as possible. And if you do start dying, you have this sort of second wind ability with the consume soul, or sorry, the life drain, because the life drain is a 33% supercharge, which is my favorite for PvP, because you can charge it up so quickly and then just keep yourself going by eating the target for his health. So if you keep that combo going, it's literally, you can keep yourself pretty much in the shield the whole time. You can keep the AoE damage up, you can keep the single target damage up, and it's just sustained damage while you're pretty much shielded or fake shielded to do extra damage in some of the attacks. And as you can see, differently from my Blessed DPS loadout, every single move in this loadout is that dark purple-y kind of effect, except for this one move, but I think that's just because of how they did it. But every single thing here goes together. The whole combo works amazingly, and on both characters, I use one-handed, because one-handed just seems to flow super nice into all of the combos. So hopefully that helps you guys to be able to see a little bit about how we like to set up our Celestial characters.
That's right. You got Celestial Healer and DPS in the first half with me, and PvP Cursed and Blessed with Ninja Andrew. Because I'm Quantum on here, so I could be of absolutely no help. And Rye, it is no problem. I'm trying to wave at you, but for some reason I cannot access my D-pad. So, awesome. I would give you a thumbs up. And just keep working. Level 11, you can hit that level 30 for Freaky Friday. And come hang out with us here on the evil side of DCUO. Alright guys, if you have any more questions about Celestial, or you want to let us know what works for you, just let us know in the comments. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. If you like this episode, please give us a thumbs up. We will be back tonight for our little Dorkia adventures. So if you have a small character in the DC universe on the hero side and you want to come hang out and run stuff with us, we will be doing that tonight. If not, Thursday night we'll be back for our regular DCUO shenanigans, and it's Freaky Fridays on DNG, so we are on our villains on Fridays. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing tomorrow morning. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties right now with the morning stream, because Andrew's got to get his internet straightened out, which will happen hopefully on Saturday. So we will be back next week with more 7 Days to Die in the AM. So yeah, thank you guys for coming to hang out with us. We hope that you have a good day, and we will see you guys tonight for more epic adventures here on Dork Ninja Gaming. Bye! I would wave. Oh, yay, my D-pad's working now. Bye!
Nice, Misty.
I think it's because I was in combat. Dang it. Bye, everybody.